The Turkish parliament is due to pass crucial legislation on Monday as part of its deal to secure visa-free travel to Europe for its citizens. The visa-free promise is one of the concessions won by Turkey as part of its deal with the EU on refugees. Now, some of the key issues that Turkey must implement include meeting EU standards for passports and ID documents, preventing illegal migration, fighting trafficking and terrorism, and certain fundamental rights for all Turkish citizens, including freedom of movement. Turkey says it has already fulfilled the majority of the criteria set by the bloc. Today's legislation is aiming to meet the remaining criteria before the EU presents its progress report on Wednesday. Well, for more on this, Ahmet Hamdi Sisman joins us now from Ankara Live. Good to see you there, Ahmet Hamdi. So what are the most significant measures then that still need to be passed?
Well, first of all, Turkish government says the legislation that will be passed today is the last criteria that Turkey needs to fulfill, and most significant ones are meeting European standards, as you just mentioned, for passport and ID standards. But on the implementation of this, even though the legislation has passed, only if the European Union grants visa-free travel to Schengen zone for Turks, only those who have new biometric passports and new IDs that meets the European standards could be able to travel to Europe without the visa. And also protection of borders, Turkey's own borders, not with just the European countries, but also on the eastern side with Iran, Syria, Iraq, and Georgia. One of the criteria required that Turkey should deport illegal migrants from Turkey to third countries too. President Erdogan cited concern on that, saying that there are 80,000 Armenians in Turkey, 40,000 of them are illegal. They're here because of the financial hardships in their own country, and it should be hard to implement some of those criteria.
So how likely is it then that Parliament will be able to agree and pass the legislation today, and what happens next?
Well, it is almost certain that the Parliament will pass this last legislation because the government itself has enough majority in the Parliament, and actually this legislation today's legislation is nothing new anyway. It was first proposed to the Turkish parliament in 2010, but because of the variety of technical issues, it was postponed until today. And Turkey started pass this legislations back in 2013 when it signed the readmission agreement with the European Union. But in 2 years, only met half of the criteria. The deal that Ankara signed with the European Union actually helped Turkey to speed up the process as well.
Okay, thank you very much for the update there.